Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, put the call ratio right now is at 0.51. It's kind of on the lower side, but it's nothing extreme. Looking at the economic calendar for the week, let's see. Monday, don't see anything. Tuesday, we have Jolt's job openings at 10 o'clock, which could be a pretty big one. Wednesday, manufacturing PMI. Thursday, unemployment claims at 8:30. And Friday, we have a few things, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, and ISM services PMI. So, got a couple things to watch for on the economic calendar. Now, as far as the market, I mean, we did have a dip, not much of a dip. We just had a couple day drop. 3 days we had to drop, and it's really not much of a pullback. So I'm not quite sure what SPY is going to do this week. We did have a bounce on Friday. We don't usually have 3 red days in a row, or down days, I should say. So we could end up seeing more lows because this, the funny thing is there's government shutdown like looming and no one's talking about it. And so maybe that's something that sneaks up on the market this week. I don't know. I don't know when the actual deadline is. I haven't been really following it, but I know that there's a government shutdown possible happening. So we will watch SPY. I like to wait to see what pre-market's doing and kind of go based off pre-market, because you can speculate all you want. You can have bad news galore and SPY will just ignore it, and SPY just wants to do its own thing. So we'll just go based off what is happening pre-market, and that's why you need to be in the room, and that's how we're going to do it. But we're going to watch it from both sides today. If it gets over 662, 663, probably going to shoot to 665, then back to all-time highs, and we break all-time highs, we're probably going to 670, 675. But if Friday was just a dead cat bounce to cool off the RSIs, which you can see on the hourly, we're down here in the under 30, so I think the RSIs definitely need to cool off. We get underneath 660, we're probably going to see 655 again. We get under 655, 650, 645, 640, 635, all, achievable. 625, we get a gap to fill down here. I mean, it just seems like in order to have a gap fill down to the 600, you need to have like something massive, major happen, like power getting fired or a nuclear weapon or something like that happening, or something crazy, because SPY is just not caring about anything. And we cut rates with inflation going up. That should have been enough to send the market crashing, or not crashing, but down. Doesn't care. Doesn't care about inflation. Doesn't care about the rate cuts. I think a lot of it has to do with just so much buying volumes coming in on 0 days to expiration, that the market just is going up just on the amount of massive dip buying. And the world can burn and will still go up, because just being overwhelming everything with volume. So but like I said, we'll go based off from pre-market. Now VIX is getting down. I think it's like 15 or something like that. Yeah, it's at 15 right now. And VIX is just a heart monitor, or I like to use the analogy of a coiled spring. The more it's compressed, the vicious the bounce is, like right here. It presses it down, bounces, presses it down, bounces, presses it down, bounces down, bounces. And if it's compressed like this for a long period of time without having any bounce or any meaningful bounce, we end up having something crazy like this happening, or like this. So we're not really going far. I mean, we're not having that one shot to 25 or 20 above 20. Yeah, we had one right here, but I mean, no, that's months ago. We've had rate cuts, inflation rising, and the economic calendars aren't that great. We've revised economic numbers, and the market doesn't seem to care, but it's going to at some point. And the bottom seems to be right around the temporary bottom is right at 14, but the absolute bottom lately is right around 12 to 13. So the lowest, anything under 14 is pretty much something you buy a couple weeks out or a month out on VIX. So definitely keep an eye on to see if VIX gets back under 14. Now, a couple things I want to watch that I normally don't watch is Costco is one. Head and shoulders, you get the left, the head, and the right shoulder. I would watch it underneath 900 Costco for a push down to 850, even 800 possibly. I mean, if Costco gets down to 800, I might even grab some of my portfolio because Costco is just crazy. But we've seen this same exact head and shoulders pattern on BA, Roku, Microsoft, I think. Is it Microsoft or Meta? Microsoft, I think, and it ended up dumping. So we're going to see something out of Costco, I think, sometime soon. It could take months to play out, or weeks to play out. It could play out this week, but just something to keep an eye on. Disney, it got to 120, rejected, pulled back a little bit, but if it gets underneath this 111 area, or 112, it's going to gap fill down here at 107, 108, down to 105. So definitely watch that gap fill right there, and another gap fill under 100, which will be pretty hard to break, I think, on the first shot. If Disney does manage to drop and it drops straight to 100, it's probably going to bounce. It's not going to go straight down. The market never goes straight down, or stocks never go straight down. They go down kind of stair step on the way down. So we may go to 110 and bounce a little bit, then 105, bounce a little bit, then 100, then bounce a little bit, then maybe we flush 100, or we shoot back up to 110. I don't know. But Disney, definitely keep an eye on that one. Roku is another one. Roku just, I can't believe it's still actually up here. It does not like the 100 area, so I would watch Roku under 95. If it gets under 95, we're pushed in basically every $5, 90, 85, 80, 75, 70. This 68 area is pretty big over here, so Roku just doesn't like to go anywhere or do anything. So Apple is another one. Now Apple, this is actually Apple had a head and shoulders right here, the left, the head, and the right shoulder, and it ended up flushing down. But a couple of things on Apple is that we get up here to the 260 area. I mean, Apple just had news about it testing AI or having Chat GPT on its something. I just saw it just today. It could end up joining the AI craze, and we could end up seeing, over 260. We could end up seeing Apple push to 270, 280 just off from that. We all know that any AI headline, we've seen it from NVIDIA, is going to, or even Meta, is going to go crazy. So who knows if that will actually happen or not. So I would watch it over 257, 260. Then push to 270, 280. Now, for some reason, if it does not have any hype from that news, watch it underneath 251, or even say 254 if we push to 250, 245, 240, 235. So I think that if it does manage to break all-time high, it's going to end up probably pushing. But another thing I do want to point out that I was looking at also earlier is that Apple likes to double top high and day right here. Double top, push down, double top, push down. So it's possible that we could get to 260 and we push back a little bit before actually going higher and making new all-time highs. So I was noticing that when I was looking at the chart earlier today, that it likes to double top all-time high right here. See a double top, pull back, then it popped. Right here it pulled back, it tried to, and then it finally popped, I don't know, a few months later. So we may possibly see the same thing here, but we didn't have, we have an AI news behind it, so maybe it won't double top, maybe it'll shoot right through. So Apple's going to be interesting to see what happens at 260. So just keep an eye on that. And plus, QQQ is over 600. Well, it was over 600 just a couple days ago. So yeah, I was talking about that in the room. We get over 600 again. I mean, and Apple's strong. I mean, tech's going to take off. So that's all I'm watching, and that's going to do it for the watch list. And thanks for watching.